With Ark Survival Ascended finally in our hands, I decided to make a list of the biggest quality of life changes we have seen so far. This list was done with my community, but it covers some huge changes to how Ark works for the average player, making life a lot easier and more streamlined in Ark Survival Ascended. Massive map changes, huge generator changes, not to mention small changes like a hidden secret with your engram in your inventory. Today we cover the top 10 quality life changes in Ark Survival Ascended. Starting with the new map system. The new map system is actually amazing and way more intricate and streamlined than I imagined it would be. Not to mention the tracking system that comes with it. Now you can actually track any team across the map using the new in-game map system, and you can see them in real time, so you'll never lose a team. It also means you can track your teammates and allies to see where they are at all times as long as they're on their team. You can also mark points of interest and see those in 3D in the game when you're out of your map as well. So basically now with the tracking system, if you double press M, you can actually put markers on the map and you can track where they are. So now I've got rat hole over here that I can travel to. Go into the tracking tab. There's different tabs of things you can track. So you can track flyers, water creatures, baby creatures, track targets. If you lose a tame out in the wild, you can find it again by simply finding the tame on your list and tracking it. So if I want to track this, I can select that as a POI. It's actually the biggest game changer. So you can put markers on metal areas and then you can have it pop up on your screen so you know where the metal is, which is what I've got here. So double tap M. It's actually huge quality of life change. Next up, we have the new ping system. This next change is huge for PvP and PvE, and that is the ping system. Along with the new map markers comes a pinging system. You can ping teams that you want your tribe mates to see, or even enemy players, to keep track of them while they travel through cover, making them easy to see. I've found this is a huge help for PvP in dense foliage areas, as you can still keep track of the enemies and your friends in battle. The marker only lasts for about 5 seconds, but that's about all you need, and it's making communication in Ark Survival Ascended a lot easier in high intensity situations. So this is a huge game changer. I really like the change. Some people might not like the change so much, but even for PvE this is great. So if your friends found a tame, they can instantly ping it and you can see whereabouts they are, and you can get them to continuously ping so you can find them and meet up. Next up we have no wires or water cables. This next change is one of the biggest changes Ark has seen, and that is no cable systems. So now when you place a generator, it has a radius like a tech generator. You simply place it down and it powers everything in its radius, and the radius is huge. So no more cables or outlets, put this down and you're good to go. Same works with water tanks. You simply place a water tank down and then you place the intake pipe nearby and it automatically reaches the tank and fills it up. So this change is great for everyone and performance increases, but I find myself missing the days of shooting out someone's poorly placed outlet box. But maybe that's just me. What do you guys think of this change? It might be a bit more controversial. Next up, we have the new respawn command with your engram. Gone are the days of getting stuck in a crack for 2 hours, floating, waiting for your dehydration and food to drop so that you can die. Now you can simply open your inventory and hover over your engram and use it to respawn and kill yourself. And this is a huge game changer for everyone who has ever spent hours stuck in cracks like us OGs. It used to be so painful when you'd fall into certain parts of the map on new release maps and you'd be stuck there for hours on end, unable to kill yourself or respawn. It would actually take 2 hours sometimes, so this change is massive. Next up, we have popcorn bags fix. And gone are the days of chasing away that one bag that you popcorned that is too far to grab for your over encumbered ass. Now when you popcorn, all the bags automatically stack with no messing up, making life far more easier and streamlined when dropping metal for a forge to your friend, especially as we don't have whips just yet. So this change might seem small, but for Ark players, you know this has been a bane of our existence for the longest time. So it's great just to have a fix and not have to do some strange wonky workaround to get bags you've popcorned. Next up, we have turret placement. There is a huge change to placing turrets, and this is going to be very interesting in the long term, and I don't know if it's a quality of life for most people who want to raid, but it is definitely a quality of life for base defense, and that is the new turret placements. Now turrets can be placed upside down and sideways, meaning you can defend some old base locations that were hard to defend much easier. And this plus the new generator with no cables means you can place turrets all around an area with no metal supports, which means they are far harder to destroy. A very mixed bag with this change. We'll have to see how it plays out in the long term, but it does make defending positions much easier. So it is a quality of life for base building at least. But watch out, Raiders. It's going to be very interesting to see how this ends up changing the game. Next up, we have the death icon change. No more beams. No longer will you see beam after beam ruining your line of sight when raiding a base after you fail running that turret wall. Now you get one death marker for your last position, which you can simply look at and turn off. And this means the game will look far cleaner, and when you fail and die you can simply delete your marker and no one will ever know when you're making those YouTube videos. So this change is really nice because if you've been playing Ark as long as me, it's been a big headache for the longest time looking at beam after beam when you're raiding a base and just knowing how much you fail. So this is an awesome change. We have clipping foundations and easy foundation snapping. For official players, the bane of our existence for 8 years has been no clip, and this meant you could never build foundations close or partially in the map. But now you can. And this is a massive change for all you official builders out there. It means you can build up more rat hole positions too eventually. It makes base building look much tidier. Also, foundations can snap at different levels, so no longer do you need a degree in engineering to build slope base spots. It does take out a lot of the back end though, and a lot of the skill in Ark, because for the longest time, building has been a really intricate thing. There's been a large skill gap in that area, so I hope there's still a lot of things you can learn and differentiate for building. Next up, we have another change for around the base, OVIRAPTORs and dung beetles automatic picking. So for the longest time you manually had to put in the eggs or the poop into the dung beetle or the OVIRAPTOR. Now they'll actually pick it up, and it's a radius effect. They don't even have to walk over to it. So it's pretty awesome. It's going to make it much easier to get your fertilizer and have your eggs automatically picked up. It's going to feel a lot more like the S Plus editions that have been in Ark for a long time but haven't been on official servers. So this is a great new addition. Last but not least, we have stacking storage and cooking pot recipes and general base quality of life. So now what you can do is you can look in the cooking pot and it actually tells you all the cooking recipes you need. No longer do you need to go onto Google on a third-party website to find the recipes. It's all there for you. And this is huge. This is a great change and just makes life much easier for everybody. And you can also stack storage. So this is an amazing new addition as well. There's just lots of little changes that make a big change overall. So these are just my top 10. There is a few things I've missed, like tech binoculars. I've purposely missed out as they require bosses to get. So these are the changes that everyone will see when they first jump in. And don't worry if I missed something, leave it in the comments below and we'll cover it in the next video. And also cover our top 10 things that haven't changed, because it isn't all rainbows and fairies in Ark Survival Ascended. We'll cover that side of things too, because we cover the good and the bad in Ark. And if you guys enjoy that, make sure to leave a sub for the Ark Survival Ascended content. And come and join the daily live streams. We've been making big progress on Ark Survival Ascended small tribes so far. So I'll see you legends there. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.